You're welcome to another drafting and sewing tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to make the top on the thumbnail. It has the back is opened and it's also a cowl sleeve. Mine is going to be more pronounced and it's going to fall more than that because I'll be using a chiffon material, and I'll be attaching a band at the waistline. So kindly stay on to the end of the tutorial if there's something you want to learn how to make.
Let's mark our ½ inch. That is our starting line. I'm now going to put in the full length of the blouse there. So now 19.5. I'm going to roll the line. Okay, so after that I'll be using 8.5 for her chest measurements. Then her breast point is 11, her under bust is 15. So I'll repeat the same line here so that I can get a straight line. 8.5, 11, then 15. On the chest line here, I'll be putting our shoulder measurements. Our shoulder is 17, divided by 2, that's 8.5. I'll repeat the same thing on the shoulder line here, that's the starting line. Then you connect the lines together. This is a normal basic block. We've done this several times. So I'll be using 3.5 as the neck width. Then for the front, I'll be using 3.5 also. Then the shoulder, I'll come down by 1 inch here for shoulder slope. Let's mark our neck. Okay, from this 1 inch to the chest line, I have 7.5 left. You're going to divide it by 2. You get the midpoint. Then from here, you'll be coming out by ½ inch. Then on the chest line here, I'll be putting her round bust measurement. Her round bust is 42. That's 10.5. I'll be adding 1 inch to it. So I'll be using 11.5. This is it. Then plus 1 inch. Now we're not going to connect our armhole. So from here, from the shoulder slant here, you connect it to this ½ inch. Then from there, you now connect like this. I think I'll just be adding only ½ inch. That is 11. That 1 inch might be too much for her. On the breast point here, I'll be putting her breast apart, that's nipple to nipple. I'll be using 4.5 inches. So I'll repeat the same thing all the way down, 4.5 inches. Then let's connect down. From the full length here, I'll be marking a dart of 0.75 on both sides. So I'll connect to the breast point like this. I'll be using 2 inches for her darts, for her bust darts. So these 2 inches here, from this breast point here, I'll come out here by 1 inch like this. So I'll be connecting the bust darts to the 1 inch because we are going to be sewing the darts inside. So on the shoulder here now, we have ½ inch for joining. So let's connect like this. After taking in the darts, so I'm going to put her waist measurements. Our waist is 34, so we have 8.5. This is the 8.5. So I'll repeat the 1.5 I take here, that's 0.75 on both sides. I'll repeat it here like this, then plus the 1 inch sewing allowance. So now I'm going to connect all the way down. Now, before we cut off this place, I'm going to close this dart so that I can get a proper dart. Because if I should cut direct like this place automatically becomes short. So how you would do is to just take your paper like so, the way I'm doing like this. Like this. So after you now bend like this, just blend it up with this upper, with your armhole measurements here. Can you see what I'm doing? Just blend it up like this. Yeah, so after blending it becomes like this. So you just take your ruler and you connect it to this place, so you can see that it is no longer straight, it is now bent. Or you can decide to come out here by ½ inch. You connect like this, you connect like this to be on the safer side. Like so, and like this. Yeah, you're done drafting the front, so the next thing is to draft the back. So mates, this back is without a zip allowance, so let's start our ½ inch the same way we did at the front. So from that ½ inch, the full length, now we are going to be using 17.5. remember we took 2 inches for the bust dart, so we use 19.5 for the front. The back will be using 17.5. I hope you all understand. So the 8.5 for our chest line and the full length, that is what we have. So 8.5. The shoulder for the 8.5, so you repeat the same shoulder on your chest line here, then you connect your lines together. Remember we did 1 inch slope for the front. Let's repeat the same thing. Then the width, we use 3.5 for the neck width. Yep, so we're connecting the shoulder slope first. Now let's put in the same nipple to nipple we put at the front. So now you're connecting into the chest line, 4.5. so you rule your lines. Yep, like this. For the back, we're going to be using ½ inch for our dart, ½ inch on both sides. So on this chest line now, for this back, you have to come down by 1 inch. You come down by 1 inch like this before you now connect your dart to the 1 inch. So that when you are sewing, your dart stops here, it won't extend to the chest line. Yeah, you know I told you it's going to be an open back. You will come in by 1 inch, by 1 inch like this. So from your neck width here, you will now connect the 1 inch down like that. You connect it like this. Okay, so we're going to cut off this part. We no longer need it. So remember our ½ inch for shoulder joining. Now let's input our measurements before we cut. I use 8.5 at the front for the waist. On this your center back here, this 1 inch dart that we take here, we'll add it back, then plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Now for the chest line, we use 10.5. we added ½ inch to it just for ease, that is 11. So plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So we'll now connect it together. In between this we have 7.5. so you mark the midpoint like so. Then for this back, we are not going to go out here by ½ inch because the back is wider than her front. So you connect like this, then you also So now the armhole is ready. Now we can now cut it off. And this is the front. We'll be drafting the sleeve now. This is our basic sleeve block. I believe we all know how to draft a basic sleeve block. If you don't know how to draft, I have a tutorial on my channel. You can get how to draft it here. But I doubt if there's any fashion designer or a tailor that doesn't know how to draft a basic sleeve block. You mark 1.5 inch away from this starting line. You repeat the same 1.5 like this. You come down again, you repeat the 1.5. Come down again, you repeat the 1.5. I think we are going to stop with this 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do as many as possible, but you want to reduce it. But I'll be using 4. So from this 4 here, you connect it to this place like this. So let's connect. I'll be using my tracing wheel to just create that punch line so that I can mark it at the back. If you don't have tracing wheel, the same thing you repeat, the same thing you did here, you can repeat it on this line. But I can see the lines with the tracing wheel that I use. So I'm going to use my marker now to extend the lines. So now we are now going to do what we call splash and spread. So let's name them before we do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to take a fresh paper, then I place them on it. You can see the reason why I said you have to number, so that you not miss out anyone. So what we're not going to do is, we're going to be putting 2 inch in between. Yeah, 2 inch in between. So let's come up like this. So you mark 2 inch here, then you put the second one. You take your, so you get your curve. You get your curve from here. Yeah, from here to here. So you do the same thing on the other. Yep. So from here, you're going to get your curve like this. Okay. So you do the same curve up here too. Yep. So on this side, you connect it like this. So this is how it is, guys. Now we are not going to cut it off. So guys, this is our sleeve. So we'll also still get another fresh paper because we're going to be slashing this side now. We'll slash it all the way to this side. You know, we already have our straight line here. So you're going to slash from that straight line. So just connect your lines like this. So when you're splashing, when you get to the edge here, don't cut it through, just stop at the end here, like this. Yeah. So you place your tape here, you measure 5 inch, like this. Okay, so now you take it to the 5 inch. Take it to the 5 inches. Yeah, so this is what we need. So you just take your curve ruler, then just blend here, this upper part here like this. Just blend it up like this. Are you seeing the way I did it? Yeah, like this. So now we're not going to cut. At every point, you make sure you have your lines, because then the middle line also. So just rule a middle line here. You know we have 5 inches here, so let's get the midpoint of that 5. That will be like 2.5. So we are going to pleat from here to here. We pleat from here to here. So at every point when you are cutting your paper, when you are cutting to your fabric, you indicate all the slashes we did. You have to indicate it. So now that we are done with the sleeve and the dress, the top pattern, so let's cut now on the fabric. After cutting on the fabric, you can see like I am notching all the points where my pleating is going to meet. You notch them so that when you are sewing, you have your proper notch line and you know where your pleats are going to stay. Now for the front and the back, this is the back. I've also notched the middle darts here where I'm going to sew the darts up to this place. So what you just do is, if you are joining your darts, you just measure from here to where your darts stop. Here is 8 inches, so you know that once you are joining your darts, you stop at 8 inches on the back. Then for the front, I also do the same thing. I notch this side. I'm going to sew on 0.75 on both sides. Then for the side, for the bust darts here, yeah, I notch the middle and the side here, so that I know when I'm picking it, when I'm sewing, I know that I'll be sewing like so. Then you also measure what you have from here to here, so that when you sew, you will not exceed this point. So for the band, I told you I'll be cutting 2.5 inches of band. Then I will make the waist measurements. We have 34, so you can multiply your waist times 2 or times 3. If you know you have enough fabric left, yeah, you can multiply times 2 or times 3, so that when you sew round, you have enough fabric to tie at the back. This is the sleeve. This is how we are now going to pleat it. Let's start from the middle here. This is the center. This is the middle that I notch here. So, and this is one. This is another one. So you take like this one, this notch here. You place it on this other, the middle notch. You use your pin to hold it. So this is the other notch. You take it like this. You bring it to the middle, like so. So you also pin it like this. Now on the sides, we have one notch here on the side. You take it like this. You bring one of the notch here to the other notch. You know we have four notches here. So you take one here like this. You bring it to the other one here. You pin it down. You pin it down like this. So we have 2 notches left. Yeah, so you take the other one. You take it up here like this. Like this. Then you also pin it down like this. So let me do the same thing for the side. You take this notch here, you bring it to the notch close to it. Pin it down. You take the other notch, the 3rd notch, you take it to the 4th notch. Like this. Yeah. So you pin it down. So can you see? After pinning it like this, by the time you now sew, here will drop like this. We have our cowl, so we're going to sew here like this on the bodies of the cloth. So I'll do the same thing for the second sleeve. This is the facing. So I'm going to sew. I'll sew like this. So after sewing, I'll notch, then I'll now flip it and top stitch on it. For the back, this is the facing for the back. So I'm going to sew like this. I will notch, then I'll flip it like this, then I'll now top stitch on it. So I'll do that for the back and front. After turning it with the facing, I did that for both the front. This is the back. Look at the facing. Yeah. Then for the two sides, then this is the front. So what we're now going to do is we are now going to sew our darts. I have finished sewing all the darts. I have finished sewing all the darts. So you can see the essence of that bust darts and the waist darts. We have fullness here. So that when she wears it, it's going to be like there's a breast cup there. So now the next thing is to join the shoulder together like this, and place them like this. Yeah, the sides. After joining the shoulder, then with 1/2 inch, we'll now join the sides with 1 inch. So this is how the back is going to look like. This is the opening at the back. So I'll be attaching a rope here. I'll cut a rope. I'll be attaching it here to this place so that she can tie here. Then also this place, this is the band. I told you I'll be cutting a band of 2.5 inches. So I notch the middle of the top. I'll be closing this side. I'll sew this side. You fold it like this, then you sew and close it. So I already notched where this one will stop. That is where I'll stop sewing. Yeah. So I did the same for this other side too. You can see we are almost done. Look at the inside. You see how neat it is. This is how it is going to be like. I already sew it inside. Then this is the back. This is the back rope. You can see the band. Can you see how neat everything is on this side? Yeah. So this is how it is. Then she's going to tie it when she's done wearing. Here. And this is the front. So the next thing now is for us to take our sleeve and fix. After pinning all these notches I made, I'm going to fold it like this, and I will sew with the allowance I left, because the pattern I drafted is with the allowance for sewing. So I'm going to sew, then I'll also hem the down side, then I'll now fix the sleeve on the top. I'll do it for the two sides, that way our top will now be ready. So this is the sleeve. Yeah, so we are done with our top.